Now we are live.
We are live now.
Don't look like a weirdo.
I could do that for the rest of the stream.
If this wasn't live, I would edit that part out. So what are you drinking today? I thought I saw you with the lager.
Stuff, things.
I'm drinking this Founders
Spots and founders.
Spaten.
Mm-hmm.
It's a I don't really like it. Imperial stout brewed with blueberries, chocolate, and vanilla. I kind of got it from my wife. Aged in bourbon barrels. Everything's always aged in bourbon barrels. These imperial stouts, but it's it's a little like sour. I mean, it's blueberries, I guess. I don't know. It's too many things too. Vanilla, chocolate, blueberries. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what else is in there? Probably some nutmeg and cinnamon. They're just throwing everything in there. I don't know. Maybe some people like it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not a beer connoisseur, but my wife hated it. My wife liked the quadruple that I got for me, so I let her have half of that.
The quadruple.
Yeah, I saved the upstairs, but I don't remember what it was. Surprised she liked that.
Hmm.
They're both 10.5%. These are both 10.5%.
Hey, Zodiac said he might be up for one of these probably tomorrow.
Well, I leave for Dominican Republic tomorrow. I mean, I'm technically taking my
Okay.
computer, I guess. I don't know. It's not packed. I didn't really ask.
Well, if you got everything still set, then probably I'll do it, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah, I'll see.
we'll have to think of a topic for tomorrow, though.
Technically, all I need to do is take my charger and my I think maybe my brother-in-law will want to pop in and not speak much English, but that's fine.
Well, people here want to, if they can
We can
understand, then
sit like
it'd
this
be
and
fantastic.
So I'm leaving tomorrow for vacation, and my sister-in-law asked me, "What do you want to do for vacation?" And I thought about it, and I thought, that's just like a great idea for like a show. What do people like to do on vacations? And
Yeah, absolutely perfect, man. Because a lot of people like to talk about it, see where they want to go, and there's so many places you can go. It just depends on like what do you want to do. What do you want to do on your vacation?
well, my system that I'm trying to get with my family is every 3 years one of us picks the place on vacation. And there's four of us, so there's four different picks. Unless the kids, when they get older, they have picked something and then they get to pick it, I
Yeah,
guess.
then
But
that's a whole thing.
because they would be like 12 by the time they would get to pick, and that's kind of like the age where it's like I want to go to Disneyland or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's like
Have you
okay.
ever been to Disneyland?
I think I was a baby, like really little,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I don't really remember it. I mean, I don't have no experience of it, so been to a
Yeah,
lot of other
I've never
places
been
though.
there. I mean, I've been to Great America a lot of times, but I've never been to Disney or anything. My kid has,
I
so
want Buddy. He's been to Disney. They just went like this year. Um, I'm more of like an outdoorsy type person. I like.
yeah, me too. Me too. I
I
couldn't.
mean,
I don't know if like that's never been something I ever thought about. I never wanted to do a whole Disney thing because like I'd like to be with real nature, be outside, and
yeah, like my vacation seriously would just be like a log cabin in the middle of the woods, very minimal thing, and a canoe on like right next to a
no
stream, and like
electricity, just candles,
yeah,
and
yeah, no electricity, deck of cards.
how are you
Maybe
gonna
you
get
have
by without your summoner war games though?
that you don't have to play for all the time. You can take a week off or find a way. Go into town for a day or something.
Yeah, give it to your friend. Be like,
Well,
hey, this is what I want you to do every day. I'll give
yeah,
you like $20 if you just keep the game played. I
Well,
could bet you'd be someone that
I
would do that, man.
I told you people really do that in this game. There's some people that their account gets played and grinded 24 hours. They pay other people to do it. Or
Really?
it's like group
No, you
accounts.
never told me that though.
Oh yeah, I thought I
No,
told you that.
no, you never told me that.
Yeah, they're really obsessed with this game. I mean,
So it's kind of like Clash of Clans in that sense. How
it's just so competitive. I mean, nobody has every monster. Nobody.
I thought you got every monster that other time. You got that one monster, the one dragon that you were saying it was the best.
Well,
You,
my rep for Rod probably, but I don't know. I mean, you get them every once in a while.
so you're
Right.
going on vacation to Dominican?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to Dominican Republic. That's where I go
So what do you? What's your?
pretty much
What's
every
some
year.
stops you like to do? Mountain trekking, fishing.
So, so I haven't gotten to get to experience too much of the. I've gotten to experience the beach like quite a few times there, and I just really haven't gotten to experience too much of like the woods and all that. And mostly that's just because of where we live. Like the woods are a lot further away.
Hmm.
But we're gonna try to do some things like that this year a little bit.
Do you have a car? Does your family have a car, or do you?
Oh yeah, we have a car. Yeah, it's just it's big. Like I mean, up. It's weird how it's shaped, but it's like it can take like 12 hours to get across all the way. At least that's what they say. I mean, maybe I could do it in 10. But
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's like a long. I mean, an up and down, it's like 8 hours or so.
Hmm.
So there'd be a lot of ground to cover, more than you think. But we got
Yeah.
to go. We got to go karting the one year. That was pretty cool. Big. It's pretty long. Like you got to go for and you stopped at a beach. They take pictures out there and stuff. They give you like an iguana they put on you.
Do you
Yeah.
get the Aquani while you're go karting?
No, but our go kart broke down. I think we had to get a new one, and our new one was way faster. So we
Was
were
it
able to like,
electric or was it gas?
oh, they were gas. Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude, they were quick.
nice.
They were nice because you got dust. If you were behind
Was
somebody,
it
you were
like
getting
hard
dust.
rubber or was it wheel? Was it air tires?
Oh, it was air tires.
Wow, it's even
Yeah,
better.
we took our baby too. It was great.
And you put
I
your
mean,
baby in the front?
no, we in the back. She's in the back.
Oh,
Which yeah, I
okay.
mean, we all had helmets, and I mean, it wasn't like too bumpy or anything. Like it wasn't a crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't like I was risking my daughter's life or anything like that.
yeah, yeah.
But
I took
it
my
was
I
pretty
took
fun.
my I took my girl to do that, and she was excited because she wanted to drive it, but I was like, it's a little too big for you. You can do the smaller little ones, because they have like a little kid one. You just go on a figure eight, or not a figure eight, but it's like you know how it is. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
a smaller track, and so she went and did that one. But when she was with me, she was cheering me on to beat everybody, and I was like, running laps around everybody that
Are
I
you as
could.
good? Are you as good as real go karting as Mario Kart? Super
Yeah,
Mario Kart.
yeah. That's one of my favorite things is racing. And that's something I
Uh,
don't even put on my channel at all. Like I don't
we got
showcase that.
we got a go kart place. We got a couple different. If I would have known that, oh man, I could have taken you to one.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's where the air hockey table is too.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
two things I got to kick your ass in, man.
No.
We still have to do that. We
You
will
might
get
you
there.
might beat me in go karting. I'm not. Yeah.
I probably will beat you in go-karting, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell people this. I'm
But
like
air hockey,
it,
no.
if they put an air hockey table in the place I like to shoot pool and we had some tournaments, oh man, the money I could make. Oh my god. The money the money I could make off that.
Why don't you buy them? Why don't you
I
donate
could
them?
buy them that and then make back all my money within like a few months. Just keep hosting tournaments. Just
Yeah, you keep
Everybody,
pushing.
come beat Trigger at air hockey if you can. The stakes are high. It's kind of like the Cowboy Bebop thing where the VT woman keeps getting all that cash because they can't get her
Yeah.
name right, you know? Keep whooping their asses all day.
I'll tell you what,
Nice.
if that was a question on what was like Cowboy Bebop fan club, like what was the name of VT, I'd fail it. I really don't remember.
It's funny as hell because I could use that for my channel.
Veronica Torres.
No,
I really
Veracity
don't.
Trigger.
Oh yeah,
I
Veracity
should
Trigger.
use that. I should use that in an intro as long as it doesn't, conflict with anything. I could probably use that. But how much money do you think she was sitting on for all those years? I mean, it was a nice thick stack, but it wasn't just dollar bills. It had to be like $100 bills or thousands of dollars.
Yeah, she just keeps downsizing it probably. Um, one of the things we are gonna do is go into a cave. I'm not sure if there's water in the cave. I've been to one
Oh,
of the
is it
caves.
is it one of those stalactite caves?
I'm not exactly positive. I've been to a cave there before where you actually go in the water. Like you're inside the cave and there's water.
Oh,
And
so you got to swim under and then come up?
it's pretty deep too. You can't really like swim down and touch the bottom and stuff. Like
So
you're and like there's a lot of different people. There's like people from New York there and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh yeah, where you from? You from Pennsylvania?" Yeah. Like it's like I mean, they were pretty cool. It was fun. But that's the thing. The more touristy type stuff you do, the more you get tourists that are doing it as well. I mean, they were nice people. Everybody was pretty polite. We're all on vacation, but it's
Mhm.
like you think about like going to a different country, still doesn't escape that like stereotype of where everybody's from. Like you knew these people were from New York. Like you knew it.
Oh, geez, yeah. It's so easy too. I mean, I've had relationships with people from New York, and after you have even one of those, it's like you know they're from New York. I mean, different style of talking. I mean, man, do they
Yeah.
talk fast? I mean, they thought I talked like the way I talk is kind of normal here. Maybe I talk even a little slower here than other people in Wisconsin do. When I talk to people from New York, they're just like, can I get a word in here? I don't know if I can say anything. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait until you've had your spiel, and then I'm gonna say something. I don't know. I guess it's just the way people are, but it's kind of fun, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it makes me feel like I forget that I'm in a whole nother country. Like, I feel like I'm close to home still. Two different people from like the same area who maybe we were even on the same flight. Who knows? Like, and it's weird. Like, you're on that
Half
same
the
flight. Like,
time you are on the same flight, and you don't even like. You might glance, and you might. Do I remember this person? I think they were on the plane, and usually they are. It's almost like you
well,
get
but that's
there.
what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. All these different people doing things. I always say that to my wife. I'm like, whenever we're driving like long times and we see lots of developments, lots of houses, I always say, just realize like somebody lives in every one of these things, and they all have jobs and they all do things. Like doing a like we have like a very complex system of how things work. But yeah, you're right. Like you'll see somebody in the airport, or you don't see them, but
Half the time you just see them in the airport, and they don't even get on your plane,
all
and
those
then they're
people are
they're
going.
there like like half an hour. Like it's almost like they came on the same plane, but they weren't on that plane. But they're there almost immediately when you get there too.
Sometimes it's the other way. Like they're going back. That's like the last thing in their day, and this is like the first of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what else I want to do. I've asked to go canoeing, but there's really not too many lakes that I know of in the area that we are in.
Do you have to rent? Well, you're gonna have to rent one, I guess.
Well, well, there is this one area, but I guess it's closed down around Easter. I guess a lot of people party out there and stuff. I don't exactly know, so it's not a good idea right now.
Does Dominican do they party a lot all the time? I'm guessing they do.
Um, I mean, they're definitely like a rum, like the rum's their liquor choice. If that's like a stereotype that you can put you
Oh,
know what I
okay.
mean? And
Okay.
like
So if I go
rum.
to Ireland and I'm having a glass of whiskey or something like that, or it's kind of the usual.
Yeah, like I mean,
Or if I
I
was to
think
go to Russia and have vodka, I don't know. I haven't been to Russia. I'm just
peop
guessing
to
that's.
me, people who drink rum like to drink like all day. It's not necessarily like a race. And I think that's the kind of the same thing with like whiskey and stuff. And I mean Guinness, Guinness drinkers. It's not a
Oh,
stronger.
Guinness! You could have Guinness almost all day. Really, it's so light.
The
Uh,
way our show should just be called stereotyping people through the drinks that they drink.
it's kind of true in some areas. I mean, when I was in Ireland, like tons of people are drinking Guinness like all day. And I've been there twice within a 10-year gap too. And they only brought out now a new kind of beer that I like a little better than Guinness sometimes, but it's from the same developers. It's from the Guinness company itself. It's almost weird. It's like they have this huge monopoly over what people drink there. And people drink it, they love it.
I know it's well, and that's what's
Oh,
interesting.
and it's like you told me about Spain, remember?
Yeah, I remember when we were at the wedding. I said, "Do you have any like darker beers?" And they had like one, and it was a porter, and it was pretty good. And everybody was like, "Oh, you're drinking this dark beer," and I was like, "Yeah, it's not too bad." And everybody had tried it. It was like, it's pretty good actually. Like, I kind of like this. And I'm like, and it's heavier in alcohol too. And they're like, "Oh, wow, that's kind of nice too." And I'm thinking like, why does nobody in Spain drink like like all of your neighbors are like heavy alcoholic drinkers, and you all drink like they drink like the lightest pilsners. They're that casual. Let's drink all day, a light beer.
Well, yeah, that's true, man. Because if you're drinking all day, it's got to be light.
Germany just drinks a lot, but their drinks are heavier too. And when
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Like when I was in Germany, I had a whole, I don't know it was like a whole, I don't know if it's a pint or a liter, but it was literally like from here to here. I mean, uh, it was like 9 inches tall, and it was like this wide. It was about the size of my head. That's how big of a beer I had, and I just had one because you couldn't have more than that. It was almost like I had, I don't know, it was filled four or
they're
five
they're
beers in
thick.
there,
They're thick, you know.
but it was huge. And when you got it, it didn't cost that much. I think it was like $7 for that thing. Which I mean, you go to a bar now and you're buying like a $5 beer with just one glass. I mean, this
They
thing
just
is
they basically
gigantic.
just gave you a pitcher, or you think it's even
Basically, yes, it was like a half a pitcher of beer in one mug. When you held that thing, you're holding on for dear life because if you drop that, that's a lot of beer lost. I mean, you could almost hold it with two hands. It was that big,
like 40 ounces? I think it's
dude.
more.
I'm not kidding you. It was like 9 inches tall, and it was like 4 inches in diameter in the inside of the glass.
You're very, very good at knowing those inch estimates. Like you just never mind. Sorry.
I'm into architecture. I'm going through classes. I gotta know inches, centimeters, feet, all that stuff.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I like the canoe. I did have a vacation place where I got to canoe in New Hampshire. Really, really nice. And it was on an island. You drove to this island, and the island had
Can
no electricity.
I don't
And there's
canoe a
two
lot.
two.
Is that how many? It's been a long time since I've been on a canoe. How many people can
Let's
you fit? I'm thinking you can fit like 4 people on a canoe. I think it's maybe three.
you can probably do four at the most. I mean, typically it's a three-person thing, but
Because I did whitewater rafting when I was younger, and when I was really young, I was in a canoe.
man,
But I've been on boats most of the time. I barely go in a canoe or a kayak or anything like that. I think a kayak would be a lot of fun to do. I haven't.
I've never done a kayak actually. I just always do canoes.
Canoe
I mean,
might be more fun because then you could just kind of relax, let somebody else take the reins.
I rent them out here too. There's a place that you can rent them for an hour, and it's
Oh
a
yeah,
nice little big uh lake. Yeah.
you gonna do a lot of driving around though?
Try- You mean like how like to go far?
Yeah, just to
Eh,
cover the
it's
border, go around the edge, see the outskirts.
you probably Yeah, I mean, you know what I like to do? I like to canoe to another place, and then I actually like to pull the canoe off, and then walk around a little bit, and then come back to the canoe and push it back on. It's like fun to like get out of it for a minute and get you feel like a really like explorer.
Well, yeah, you're doing the whole Lewis and Clark stuff right there.
And I'm always
You
looking for
know,
wild mushrooms and stuff.
you're like, what are you, a hog looking for truffles and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
PC's a
I know.
wild boar looking for
Yep,
truffles.
yep.
He's a truffle sniffer. They actually have those, don't they?
You'd probably be a lot of money if you were like better than
Don't
the pigs and stuff. It's
don't some
actually I think
farmers
they use
actually like
dogs.
just
I mean, they
send
have
out
pigs,
some
but
pigs to go look for
they use
truffles?
they use dogs because they're a little bit more obedient. I think.
They don't eat the whole stash, I guess. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Seems. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
You know,
germ. What?
truffle. Do you like truffles? Do you like the taste of truffles?
They're fine. That's good.
It's very like I know. Ugh.
I like it, but it's not like a mainstay.
It's funny.
Basically,
It's funny how our bodies enjoy like pungent, like oh, some garlic, like truffles. Like our body likes the Limburger cheese. Like our cheese. The more sharp we can get it, and like nasty tasting.
hey Brad, I gotta say, I don't know if you ever tried this before, but what are some ways that help you wake up like that? You you drink
The
something, you
the
eat
smell of
something,
bacon.
bacon will wake you up.
The smell of bacon was one of them.
What
I should
have you ever tried
I
coffee?
should be saying that on Passover. Jeez.
This is Passover night, so let's all have some bacon. Yes. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, have you ever had coffee and poured some powdered garlic into it?
No.
Man, well, that'll wake you up. If you have that in the morning, you'd be like, it's almost like sniffing horseradish. It's
Well, yeah,
just
like ginger.
it just like it opens your nostrils. It energize. It's like it's
Ginger and
probably more than
ginseng will
like a
wake me
Red
up
Bull or a
too.
Monster or something. What?
Some ginger and ginseng tea or something like that will wake me up. That's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
good. I'm not really much of a coffee person. I don't think I need to add the third G, ginger, ginseng, and garlic.
Ginger ginseng and garlic. That'd be interesting. I might want to try that just to see how awake I can get from
Yeah,
that.
you're getting into like a real detox cleanse right there every morning. Take a ginger, ginseng, and garlic shot. That'll wake.
It'll wake you up, make you shit your pants in like 2 minutes, probably. It'll wake you up and clear you out at the same time.
That 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 wakes me up too. Having to go take a poop.
Well, yeah.
That always wakes me up. You got to poop. It's like
That actually makes me kind of fall asleep.
as soon as you wake up, it's like it's like well, I have to do it. I can't. There's no point in going back to bed. It's gonna
Hmm.
keep wanting to come more and more. So I might as well just get it done now. Maybe I can take a nap later.
Now, I was thinking about going to Japan in one of my later excursions because I've been to some different countries and places and stuff, but I'd like to go to Japan. And apparently they have the bidet thing there, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about water on my ass. I don't know if that's. I don't know how that would feel. I don't know if you've ever had that. I mean, you've been to Spain. I
It's
don't know if they
interesting
do
how
that.
that came out of there. I don't.
I don't
I
know. I don't know how you'd feel if you had to do
you
that.
really turned that question on. How do you feel about bidets? Like it's like was that the question that you wanted to ask me? If you made a whole cover story about going to Japan and all this.
No, I do want to go to Japan. I'm just like wondering, am I gonna be okay there, or am I gonna be like buying toilet paper when I'm out? I don't know.
I don't know. I
I
don't know
guess I'll
either.
probably just get used to it. I guess since everybody probably is doing it, I'll probably get used to it. I suppose.
Probably cleaner. Probably feel cleaner.
You know.
Something shooting water in your butthole probably cleans it really nice.
I guess
I think
so. And they've
I
got all
can't
these
remember who said it,
mechan.
but he said something like if you ste he goes if you stepped in dog shit in your Jordans, he goes, would you just use toilet paper to wipe it off? He goes, so why the fuck you just using toilet paper to wipe your ass? He's like, use some baby wipes, man. I can't remember who said it, but that made me laugh.
I
It
don't
was
know.
something I probably butchered it too, but that's how I remember it.
What
It's true though.
so you're going to Dominican, but what other place would you want to go to? Um,
Well,
one
we
second.
have a.
I'll be back.
Should I keep talking or should I just? You don't have like a technical difficulty sign, or I'll be back. I gotta go get a beer. That's a fast open.
Yeah, what place would you want to go to?
So
Like,
we have a few on our list. I know my wife wants to go to Mexico City, or not Mexico City necessarily. She said somewhere in Mexico, so I don't exactly know where. But
that could work.
it's her vacation. It's like every 3 years we pick a new spot. I said I'll go last because it's my idea. Um, I hear Hawaii's pretty expensive, but it'd be nice to be able to check out Hawaii, see how expensive it is. I guess I don't know if it's really that overly priced. I'm not.
Hawaii
I don't.
might be something that I'd be interested in actually. That sounds pretty cool actually. You know, cuz you could go see the lava.
Well,
Lava's literally expanding the island just by
it's
itself.
like our South Pacific basically. That's like our touch to South Pacific.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully the
our
island doesn't
coast,
get raided while you go there though, cuz it's happened once before.
bunch of rich people. Oh, damn.
Okay. No, it'll probably be fine.
Right now, my sister in law they're going to Italy in like a month, and I told my wife I said let's go. And at first she was like you're crazy, but then she's like should we go? And I was like yeah let's go. Let's just go to Italy. So we might. You gotta get a plane ticket to Spain, and then we're all gonna take the plane over to um Italy because it's only like 40 euro or something.
I was wondering about that, but like in the past, I didn't want to do that because my ex was like, "Oh, let's go to Italy. I want to go to Italy." I'm like, "Well, I already, like I wanted to go to Ireland. Like my friend wants to go to Ireland, and none of us know Italian. I mean, how are we gonna get by? I don't know if they're really into speaking English all that much. But this was like years ago. This was like over 10 years ago. So maybe at the time they didn't, but maybe now there's more that do. Like when I went to Germany, there are plenty of people that speak English over there, and even I speak a little German, and I got by. And some people literally thought I was faking them out, that I was a tourist. I wasn't local, because I was driving around in small towns where it's not even season, and like I can read half the signs. Well, most of the signs. like, they're like, how did you even get here? They're just wondering how I got there. I'm just driving around, doing my thing, looking at castles. I went to Castle Frankenstein. I got
That's
pictures
cool.
of that. The whole tower that literally did blow out. It's like new wood in the tower, bell tower. So he literally was conducting experiments to do whatever the hell he did. But yeah, that was pretty fun though. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I don't know. Like, are you gonna be okay? Do you know any Italian? Are you gonna like get an Italian guide or
Nope.
just a
We'll be
book?
fine. We'll be fine.
Just talk to some locals?
Look, my family all speaks Spanish. I mean, they'll be fine. They'll figure out, you know,
Well, if you
beats
speak
the.
you speak Spanish pretty good, you'd probably be all right then. That's close
pizza.
enough.
That's really all I want to try in there.
The pizza.
I mean, it'd be cool. I'd
I
have to
don't know if
think
it's
of,
gonna taste anything like it is here. You're gonna be like, ugh, what happened? Why is this? Why does this not taste like American pizza? I don't know. I could be wrong.
well, I don't know. It's weird because you see so many different videos on how pizzas are made and stuff. I've even seen these videos where they throw like a pizza in like a 600-degree oven for like 3 minutes or 2 minutes or something like that, and they're like, it's not even cooked all the way, and they're like, that's how it's supposed to be. It's like I don't even know. Like
No,
there's so
like
many different variations on pizzas.
when I was with my ex, they had a lot of Italian food to eat all the time. Eggplant, squid, all this very Italian-y kind of food. Most of it wasn't even cooked all the way through. It was very almost raw. I mean, it was like, and it tasted okay, but I'm more into cooked foods. Like I grew up with a lot of cooked food, so when I'm eating this food that's supposed to be more Italian, I'm just like, I don't know about it. I can't have calamari. I can't have squid. That's just not that. That's not me. You know.
I've been to some places where they cooked it a little bit raw, but it's like you never know if it's
Al
just because
dente.
they don't know how to cook or you know you
Altoson
never.
is saying something here. Altanda to the bite. Okay. Yeah, I've had some Italian. I wasn't. I think the only thing I could have that I liked was the eggplant when it was like cooked
I make
a little
I make
bit.
I make pretty good eggplant though, and it's really simple to make good eggplant.
But when it was cooked fine. But when I was with their relatives and they wanted to just kind of like cook it a little bit and it wasn't really cooked all the way through, I just didn't feel great afterwards, you know? I just, not for me, not for me. But I mean, I did like the eggplant. I did like most of the lasagnas, but I could not have octopus.
Yeah,
Octopi,
I'd try
a-
lasagna. Really, dude? Do you want to know what I had when I
anything
went to Spain?
gummy. Anything gummy. If it tastes gummy and oily, if it tastes gummy and it doesn't taste sugary or sweet, then I
Do you
don't
know?
want it.
Do you know what I had in Spain? I never told you.
I don't know if you really told me much about Spain,
My
actually.
my
I mean, you told me about the beers, but you were.
my sister-in-law's mother-in-law. I don't know what the relation to that would be. My mother-in-law. Um,
That's twice removed?
my sister-in-law.
Would that be
Her,
twice removed, or is
my,
that
I don't know.
a sister in law's mother in law?
My sister-in-law's mother-in-law, or
I don't know what that would be.
my brother-in-law's mom.
Oh, well, that's a lot easier.
Yeah,
Why don't you just say that?
yeah.
My
Eddie.
brother in law's mom. There you
Yeah,
go. There you go,
I guess
Fred.
that works too. Um, she says that they're from Valencia, Spain, and I said that I said the only thing I really want to do in Spain is try the paella. I said maybe see like an old castle or something like that would be really cool. I want to try the
An old
paella.
Spanish castle, yeah.
I did get to see an old Spanish castle in Hatifa, and
Did you get to go into did you get to go anywhere else in Spain? Like completely west? Did you go
I have to
north? Did
see
you
him. I have to see where a map where I was. I think I was more north. I went, but I've been to Valencia. I've been to the old town. It's called Villa de los Ojos. It's a very old town where the grapes are grown for the wine fields.
do they literally still step on that with their feet, or do they use a press of machine or something like that?
No, they do not.
Because like I could just imagine like if people step. That's one reason I haven't had as much wine as I feel like I could have because I just imagine a bunch of dudes that haven't showered just stomping on grapes and then kick it into a bucket. I don't know. It just I never like imagine it. It's a good thing.
No, you would actually every morning I would see the trucks filled with grapes, and they would drive them. And you can buy the wine. They dump them into these things that squishes them all,
Well,
and you
that's
can
a
go
lot
in.
easier. Yeah.
Dude, it was literally €1 for bottles of wine.
Holy cow. Oh, well, whoa,
Dollar.
whoa, that's way more. In the past, at a store I went to, they used to give out like a bottle of wine like this big, like this, It was literally a buck. I mean, it wasn't. It tasted fine. I could get different kinds. The Riesling was pretty good still. But what kind of
Oh,
wine do
I
they do more?
I had
Is it a
I had
darker
to hook up
wine or a Riesling wine, like a light or a dark wine? What are they?
all of them, all of them.
Spain was into every kind of wine because some places are into more one style.
Well, I don't know if it's like every kind of wine, but Cabernet Sauvignon. I mean, you see some. I think you saw some Rieslings, a lot of Pinot Grigio.
Oh, that's
Um,
good too. I like the
like
lighter ones though.
they have a really like sweeter Chardonnay though.
I
I mean,
like
I'm
the
not like
lighter
a wine
ones
expert.
though. I'm not into the Cabernets or the darker ones so much. I can have a little bit, but then it's literally because I've got acid reflux. It doesn't work well with me. I need like a Riesling or something like that.
Dude. I've got like the hookup to the best wine I've ever had in my life. I need to do something with it to be able to
What
get
was
it.
it?
Like I wish I could promote it. I could go get a bottle of it. It's empty, but it's called Michu Picchu.
Michu Picchu
Yeah,
from
if
Machu
oh my,
Picchu.
if you could get a bottle of this wine, it's so tasty.
Go show me on the camera. I want to see this.
All right, hold on, let me go get it.
Hold on, everybody. Technical difficulties. Yeah, tonight's show. I don't think I even introduced it. Really, we just kind of get into stuff, but we're just talking about places we're going to travel to or we've been to. Reminiscing and stuff like that. So, Altoson, thank you for being here. Anybody else that jumps in later on, if you're on YouTube, leave some comments. Let us know where you've been and what you've enjoyed on your travels. So, that's kind of what we're doing tonight. And I've got a lot of stuff to stream still. Did my stream earlier today. Got two different streams coming tomorrow. Then I got a co-op on Sunday. I'm gonna talk with my other friend. My other friend might get in on this too. So there might be three pictures in here at some point. We'll see.
All right, so it's Michu Pito. I always say it wrong, but so these are my favorite bottles of wine.
Oh, okay, okay.
Me,
Yeah, that's interesting because
Michu Pito.
when I was good friends with someone from Brazil, like tu would almost sound like do. The Portuguese Aryan.
Arian.
Can you buy that here still, or is it like a
I don't know.
specialty store? Because there's
And
some
then
specialty stores that sell almost everything, really.
I had this
100 anos,
años.
años. I don't speak Spanish. I
Years.
almost started to learn Portuguese, and if you try to teach me Spanish, it'd be like the polar opposite of it, man. And it's true because they do not speak the same language.
Well, in Valencia, they all have different dialects too. They said there's
Did
tons
you
of
get
different
to
dialects.
that? Did you get to the one place that is a kind of a puppet state of both of them? That's in between France and Spain, and it's like controlled by both of them. Did you get to that one country?
France and
It's
Spain.
I almost want to say it starts with an A. I don't remember what it starts with, but there's literally like a country that if you are born there and you travel, people think you're from a joke country. They don't believe you because it's so small, but it's on the border or it's in between France and Spain, but it's controlled by both because of some treaty long, long ago.
Amsterdam.
No.
Oh.
Damn it, dude. Not Amsterdam.
Australia.
I was
Austria.
watching this guy talk
Argentina.
about it too because people were saying there was a mythical country within Spain and France, and they were saying it's mythical, but this guy points it out. It's literally on the map. It's just this country is quite literally a puppet state of France and Spain. Both of them control it to some degree somehow, but it was made in this treaty long ago, and like I don't know what you visited. That's what I'm trying to get to. What did you
I think.
travel a lot of Spain? Did you get to see?
All right. Hold on. See, I'm playing my game here. I was trying to get some things done. I got to look at a map. So I was in Valencia. see if I can find a map that's gonna have. I should have went to images. But I don't remember where everything is. Oh, there was a great map right there.
I'm gonna look up Valencia. Let's see if
You know, one of my favorite things in
that's a real
Valencia
thing.
is it's a real thing. One of my favorite things in there is that you can take these oranges, you can take the oranges, dump them into this machine, and then you just crank something, and it drops them down, cuts them in half, squeezes them, and all, or it just like squeezes the juice out of them, gives you fresh pressed orange juice in a glass.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my gosh, it's
There's only
so.
some places I've been to that do stuff like that.
All right, so
And
Valencia is in the Middle East.
okay, well, what I'm saying is like close to Pamplona or Ainsa, Barbisto, somewhere around there. Oh, this is it. Andorra, Andorra la Vella. It's a different country. I think that's the one, right? Or did I screw that up? I think that's the one though. It's like right in between the two. I was watching this guy talk about it. I was like, really? There is a small little country that's controlled by both of them? I think it's either controlled by both of them or there's another one that's in Spain or France that's controlled by both of them. But there's a lot of weird little countries that are in there. They got to keep their independence.
Hmm.
I was watching this one guy talk about the whole thing, and they were doing wars with each other. That's the reason why Portugal. Well, Portugal is divided by mountain regions. It's an easy natural defensive barrier there. Did you go into Portugal, or is that
No,
not
no.
really?
I mean, you only have so many days to do things, and also we're doing things. They were getting married, so I was in a wedding. So I mean, there was like a lot of days we were doing
Oh,
stuff.
oh, I
That's why.
see.
That's why I was at Villa de los Ojos, and what's there where they got married is the um, Don Quixote.
Don
And
Quixote.
it's like the hotel, like the mountain and all that.
You ever read that
And
book?
I have the book, but I never read it. I have a painting right here. I have a painting over here of it.
Did you know that Don
I'm not.
Quixote
I'm not
literally
gonna get
breaks the
close.
fourth wall like Deadpool?
I really don't know much about the whole book.
If you read to the end, you'll find out he literally breaks the fourth wall like Deadpool.
I don't even know what breaks the fourth wall means, to be honest.
You're talking to the audience. It's
I'm at
staring
a,
contest. Broke Bacula.
I'm
Yeah.
at a, I'm at a loss here.
How you doing, Broke?
So, so like, I don't like to go underwater. One of the things that we did was we took a boat out to an island, and then we drank and ate there, and you got to like play in the ocean a little bit, and then we came back, and then we stopped halfway where there's only 3 foot water, and there's lots of starfish,
Thought
and
you were
then we
gonna
went
say
back. And
squids. I
no,
was gonna say I
I,
don't want to do that.
I got really
I don't
horribly
want to do that at all.
sunburned like crazy when I was out there because it's like white sand and 3 feet of water magnifying on you.
Did you put sunscreen on or did you not?
No, no, I never wear sunscreen. I might this time though.
I don't really like. I found out like you can put sunscreen on, but you have to wash it off because after a while, the heat will start to bake the oil or the cream on you, or the heat into you, and you bake from. I don't know.
You just have to apply more. I think that's what you're saying.
Basically, yeah, you bake like a pizza, and then
Yeah,
you gotta wash it
I
off.
might, I might just put some sunscreen on this time. I don't know.
No, I haven't done it for a while. Like when I go out, when I go to Florida, I don't even do that anymore. I mean, unless I'm
I
gonna
mean,
stay there for a long time, then I
I
might
mean, I got to try
put
some.
some on or come back in or get in the shade or something like that.
I got to try some of the chocolate from Dominican Republic.
Oh, really? What's that
Yeah.
like?
Oh, it's delicious. We had I had like the cocoa bean shells and all this kind of stuff, and you can make a tea out of it, and it was really tasty.
Ah,
Yeah, we do lots of stuff there. I mean, when I was little, I went to the Cayman Islands. I've been to
mm.
Canada. I drove up to Canada, went to the casinos out there, went to the strip club. It's a good time.
A lot of people have been to Canada though.
I wasn't 21 yet, so you couldn't drink. So I was like, let's go to Canada. You can drink there. Got a
That's
little.
true. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it is now.
My
I
my
haven't been to
friend
Canada
was
in a long time. We have all our Canada friends. We never ask them any questions anymore about that.
my friend was 17. They let him into the strip club and gave him beers, and we went to like a diner and they gave him a beer there. But the casino did not want him in there. He snuck in anyway, and they kicked him back out. Dude, we got home on like pennies. Like we had no money left for tolls or anything. It was bad.
Tell
It
more of
was
your
it was
tale from the strip club in Stowe, Mexico.
well, I've never been to Mexico. Well, I think that's where we're gonna go in probably 3 more years.
Yeah, I've never been to Mexico either. I've been to Rio. He's been a Dominican. You know, neither of us have really been to Mexico. I don't know. I don't know if the cartel's really bad right now or if it's good or
I think it all depends on what spots you go.
where you can go. I don't know. That's the whole reason for this whole wall that might go up. At some point.
Well,
But
I don't think it's just Mexico. They just have to go through Mexico to get.
yeah, but that's the reason why the wall. Whether it's Mexico or another country, you know. But the fact is, like, that's not going to stop at all, really.
Walls around our entire ocean shores.
Yeah, we'd have to wall up the whole ocean shores, all the beaches. We'd have to put a roof over us.
We'll like keep. We'll build a wall underwater, and whoever.
Underwater. Be electrocuted. So if you swim there, you get electrocuted.
I feel like even Trump's given up on the wall idea. Like it's happening. There is
Maybe he
part
is
of
giving
walls.
up on a wall.
There is walls being built, so it's like it's still happening, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's like really like happening the way that is envisioned.
I'd almost like to go check out Mexico. I was in New Mexico long ago.
My buddy lived in Arizona.
So if New Mexico is a lot like
Never-
Mexico, then I've been to Mexico. But if it's not, then I haven't been to Mexico.
I've been to Florida.
That's a whole different country, man.
Yeah.
As soon as you go through the South, you go through either Alabama or Georgia or whatever. Everybody's
Even
like very different from the northern people. But then you go into Florida, and everybody's like all northern now, or from a different country.
the Northerners who escaped and are old.
As soon as you cross that Florida line, it's a whole different kind of dialect. It's a whole different attitude. It's a whole different place.
Especially at the police department. They're like, whoa, 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 you were going 75. Like, I'm pulling you over. The police in Florida seem to be very, very strict.
They are. They are. I wouldn't mess with them in Florida. Although it's funny enough that they'll try pulling people over all the time, but I see people flying at 90 miles an hour every time I'm driving in Florida, and there's like 30 something plus people just flying by me, and
Yeah,
then
I'll
I
see
see the
that
cop
too.
up ahead just sitting there like, why aren't you pulling these people over? You just sit, and
Because
mostly it's
they're
sheriffs
not
too.
because they're not from out of town, and they'll come to their court here, and fight it. You'll just pay it. You're just gonna pay it.
Oh man.
Because you're not gonna drive all the way back to Florida just to.
There's a lot of people that come to Florida from Germany and other places too. A lot of like other cultural people want to check out Florida because it's basically, well,
I
it's
hear
our Hawaii that's
I hear
connected to
the
the
Cuban
states.
population is really like taken into a lot of like Cuba's really expanded off into Florida too.
Well, there's all those people that just float over there in boats. Remember Zodiac telling you all about that? He used to do that all the time.
Yeah,
Keep
but it's
people
got
from
to be
getting there.
more.
But if
It's got to be more than that because I mean, like you think like please like look at Puerto Rico. It's such a small little country, and yet there's more Puerto Ricans living in the United States now. It's like how in a couple of generations do you get all of a sudden more? It's not like they all migrated over here. It's that their parents came over here and then they all had kids, and it's like all of a sudden that many multiplies into more than what's already over there in the first place.
I know.
It's weird. Like it only
There's
takes a
other
couple of
cultures that don't
like we're
have birth
expanding
control,
as
or
people. We're expanding like very
they
fast.
don't focus on that. They want to have a lot of kids. You know,
Yeah, everybody wants to have lots of kids. I'm not
I'm not saying
criticizing.
it's wrong. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just
Yeah,
saying this is
but
like a cultural
I'm
thing.
saying
There's some
like
cultures that are like, you have to
China's
have
kind of
like 5 kids. You know,
China's
your
kind of smart,
grandparents are telling you this, and you feel like, oh, geez, my grandma or my grandpa is gonna be pissed if I don't have like a
but
million kids.
I
You
know it's
know,
but I know that's what I'm saying. Like our
because
entire
my
culture has always been
grandparents on one side had like 13 kids.
have
You
tons of
know,
kids, and now all of a sudden it's like you shouldn't be having so many kids.
I know. You look at it, you're like, holy
What
cow.
what are you, Mormon, having so many kids? Like,
But then you look at places like, I want to go see Japan. Like you can, in China it's like a 2 kid limit, right?
yep,
Yeah, like a two
I
kid
think.
limit, and there's a lot of Chinese people that want to come here because they might want to have more than 2 kids, or they just might want to get away from the idea of not having too many kids, or you know what I'm saying? Like they could have more kids or something like that. You know,
They just like to have sex without condoms. You
that's
know,
it.
like,
That's it.
they're like if
That's
something
that's
happens, I'm not gonna
that's
murder
it.
my kid for it. You know, like
I don't know. That might be it. No, I'd like to. I think I'd like to visit Japan because, like even with their cleaning and how they clean and stuff, they're somewhat OCD with like cleaning and all that. And I think if I go there, I might fit in because I like I clean, not just clean, but I organize. Like, you know, make sure things are all nice and put together. You know, I don't know. It just seems like what I've been looking at, like they're very well put
I
together with all that stuff. I'd be like, but that's how Germany is to a good degree too. Like even traveling on the autobahn, oh man, you could go as fast as you want.
I
You
mean
just have to
it's
be careful, you know, where you're going, and you know, polite. Just if you're in the wrong lane, get the hell out of that lane because someone's going to come flying through. And I saw Corvettes there too. I saw like 3 Corvettes when I was in Germany. Corvettes
yeah.
just flying, you know, through the fast lane. People pooped out more kids because mortality rates were higher back then. And that's sort of the mentality now too. Like that old mentality still like drags on into our present too. Like you keep thinking like your parents, you know, like you've got this idea from your parents. Your parents like you did have a lot of kids because we had a lot of kids, and then you get influenced because of that, and it
Well,
just
technology's really, I'm not gonna say made people woke, but like
probably
it really
yeah
has
yeah.
like even if you don't buy into everything everybody's saying, like it's people are kind of like more aware than they ever used to be.
Well, because we can
If you have a
watch
question,
things
you can
now.
get a good answer usually.
Yeah, because we can watch things over in different countries. Like I watch some other people that just drive around and they talk about China, how it is over there,
You know what
because they
I would
live
like to
there every
do?
day.
You know what I would like to do? I would like to go have some really heavy beer that I bring in a really high altitude place. Like I want to try that.
Well, you want to pass out immediately?
Yeah.
You want me to record that?
Yeah.
Okay, I will put that up on my channel here. Be like, how high can you be
Well, there's
before you
places
pass out
we never really talked
with
about
Brad
like
Cook and me?
the parting of like the three northern what are they? Like Norway and
Norse,
Sweden and I always forget the other one, but
the
all those
Northerners, the Hendersons,
Finland,
the Finlands,
they all have their
the
own
Finns.
personal cheap vodkas. Svedka, Den I can't I can't remember what the Denmark one is now. So I'm butchering my own joke. But um they're like pretty I think their altitude's pretty high and they're always partying. They're like pretty like druggies, like into raves and all that techno stuff,
Oh,
right?
geez, yeah. Like Denmark, they have all kinds of stuff over there. All kinds of.
That's how Germany was for a while, or maybe Germany still is. Did you see any of that kind of stuff? Like Germany's like go to this rave.
Germany is. I mean, they might, but they're more pure with their standards. Like there's so many restrictions as to what you can
Nah,
do over there.
they just saw you and they're like narc. Nah, he's not. He's
Right,
not
right,
ready.
right, right. Yeah.
Like France, didn't they? Remember, you ever see that horror movie where they France? You know how France has those catacombs of all those like millions of dead people.
I want to see that. Oh, dude, have you seen the movie As Above, So Below?
Oh, I don't know names of movies.
Have you seen the movie where the one woman is like looking is going to look for she's going to look for the philosopher's stone, or her father talked about it.
Is that
And
on
so
Netflix?
she goes it's on Netflix right now. But she goes into the catacombs and they travel through a different dimension
I'm listening.
to another world. So they literally go to hell, but they go, it's like everything is the same as they're going down as it is above. And when they cross, their people are crossing too, but they come up in the other world. They literally crossed worlds, and how things worked in our world work differently in the other world. And it's the same concept as in Full Metal Alchemist. One side of the world worked with using magic sigils or items or whatever to make things happen. The other side of the world worked by just believing in it. It's so weird. Like they made I almost think they made the movie based off Full Metal Alchemist, which I like Full Metal Alchemist.
The next thing I want to see on Netflix is Snatch. I mean, I've seen it tons of times, but have you ever
Snatch.
seen it? You ever
No,
seen
I've
the movie
never seen
Snatch?
it. Never seen it. They have the most of the Bond movies on Netflix now, though.
You've never seen the movie Snatch?
Maybe I did. It's been a while if I have.
With Jason Statham?
That reminds me. Have you ever wanted to go to England?
I had to stop in England, in London,
But
for
a stop's not the same thing. Have you ever wanted to like stay there and see it, or
not after that stop.
not after that? Like, fuck this shit. Is England really that bad? Because I never like I had a different friend like almost 20 years ago talk to me about England. He's like, these guys are all stuck up assholes. Like, I was like, seriously, are they really like that? I've never been there. I don't know. I can't
The
say. I'm
the
not gonna
old
say.
airport guy was pretty rude, but I mean, I get it. He's just doing his job, but for real, he was. We were like, they were late on the drop flight, and we told them like, you got, they were late. You know, like they're rushing us to get through, and we get this old man who's so slow, and we're kind of like, look, we got a baby on top of it. Like, come on, man, we're gonna miss our flight. And he's just like, well, you can't have the shampoo. It's over 3.2 ounces. And we're like, throw it out. We're like, anything that we're not allowed to have, throw it out. We'll worry about it later. We got to get on this flight. And he's just like, I got to look at everything. I mean, I
Did he
mean,
shove a flashlight up your ass? I mean, what the hell else did he do?
he was really rude. I mean, and he was really slow, and it's just,
He
I
wasn't
don't
old.
know.
He was just kind of a prick, right?
No, he was old, but they all had like, I don't want to talk mean, but they all like look the same. All the people from London, like they just like you can just tell when somebody's from London. I'm not necessarily saying like England in general, but London. Like they just have this like look about them. I don't know.
No, like I've been to the thing is when I was in Ireland, it's almost like it's almost the same concept because if people say, "Oh, you're from Dublin," or they think everybody's crazy in Dublin because they're so modern in a sense. But when I'm out in the country and I'm out in different locations and stuff, nobody says anything seriously good about Dublin. People, the city, sure, but the people, they're either weird or different or whatever. And the same, almost the same, might go for Dublin too. I didn't get to talk to as many people in Dublin, but it's like the people in Ireland,
Well,
they band
but
together like we are the people of Ireland. Dublin is over here. We're all here, and these people are over there. It's like a grouping. Like they stay in their group, and the other people stay in their group.
but you're right though. I mean, the city locations versus the rural locations, you know, are
And like
they're
places I've
they're
been
two
to weren't
different
so
types of
rural.
people.
There's plenty of people. It's big cities and stuff too, but it's not like as modernized as
I feel
Dublin
like
is.
all big city people are the same though. Just like got to be quick. Let's go on to the
That's
next thing.
it. That's
It
it.
doesn't really matter where you're from. If
Yeah,
you live in a big
yeah,
city, you're probably the same as anybody else from any other big city, anywhere else in the world.
yeah.
Even
That's
India,
true.
like it's not like when you're in the rural areas, like people haggle, people like there's like a whole different system of like things. Times have changed. Couldn't
Yeah,
even
but
buy.
it helps you feel like I've been in rural areas and I've been in bigger cities too. But when you're in more rural areas, it helps you feel like you're more a part of the community if you can, even if you can haggle or if you're just kind of well known. Like you feel like you have a sense of belonging there. I think that's what the people in the countryside are like more kind of into. That's sort of what they like. They have this
Well,
more belonging feeling. Like where if you're in a city, you're just doing stuff for money. You're out for yourself. You're out for number one, and
you
you
know what I'd
might
like
know
to get to
people,
do?
but
I'd like to go deep sea fishing.
I've been there. I've
I should
done that
ask my
before.
my
I've done that.
sister-in-law if I can do that.
Well, like
Deep sea fishing.
Florida fishing
You know what I
or
mean? Like imagine if I nagged a tuna fish all of a sudden, like I just made like $1 million. It'd be fucking awesome.
getting a tuna fish.
Yeah, bluefin tuna. They're prized, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know enough about that, so
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you could be right or you could be joshing me, but
Well, I don't know if the fisherman will get the $1 million, but overall it'll end up selling for $1 million. I don't know how they get their math, these videos.
I don't know how you get your math, but okay. I don't know how you get $1 million out of a blue tuna. That thing's got to
Blue
be like a
bluefin
size
tuna.
of a boat, right?
Small boat, small boat.
A small boat. Yeah, I know they
Four
get pretty
person.
big. It just makes me think of
No, they're
the other guys where he's like, if you were tuna and I was a lion, I would swim out to the ocean. I would eat you. He's like,
honestly, if I really did catch a bluefin tuna, I'd be like all about selling most of it, but I'd be like, look, I want like a lot of it for me because I want to eat it like sushi. I want to eat it raw. I have to try it. I'd find a sushi place because the bluefin tuna is like the
why
my
don't you just swim out there and just start biting anything you see that's wiggling around? It's- that's exactly
actually,
what you're asking for. I want to eat this raw. You mean you
dude,
just want to like swim out there in the tank?
dude,
Just jump in
it
the tank and just start.
it
Just do
wasn't
that.
Bear Grylls. It wasn't Bear Grylls, but it was somebody. It was one of those nature type shows. I watched this happen. I'm
I've
pretty
seen
sure,
him drink liquids from elephant shit.
dude.
So I wouldn't
Either
like.
either he was maybe it was Bear Grylls then. Either he was
It had to be.
he's in one of two locations. Either he was in Alaska or he was in Russia, like the one area in Russia, but it was cold, dude. And he catches a fish still alive, and he's like, "That's all good protein," and just starts eating
I
it.
think I
And
saw that. Yeah, he just like bites into it, the scales and all. He's like,
like he bites down
whatever. I can
and
do
kills it.
this.
Like he bites and kills it, and then just starts eating its flesh. And I'm thinking, like, not
Crazy.
saying, not saying
I
that
mean,
you
he's got a
like.
new thing on Netflix too, but the dude's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't like do what he does in all. Like, I think he's doing that for just the views in a sense because nobody would do that.
I mean,
You
that's
would
like
bang the
four,
fish on a rock and then find
that's
a way
like
to cut off the head and then
Ozzy
rip out the
Osbourne. Ozzy
guts
Osbourne right now is like
and
looking
put
at
it in
and he's
a.
going like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
Ozzy Osbourne says, like, what the fuck? Like, just because I bit off a bat's head doesn't mean you have to do this shit.
Like, he's like, "Look that blood." Hey, do you know that they found out? You know what they found out? This is crazy. I watched this. They found out that they found an egg substitute, and since I've already said blood, blood apparently is a great egg substitute. So now they're making like blood cakes and like
Who?
yeah,
Who?
I'm not exactly sure who, but
Well,
they're
Brooke, you
making
said you got bite the giant mass of plastic 10 times the size of Texas. Yeah, I've heard that's floating around. Pumpkins versus Hitterites or Yankees versus I don't know some Southern folk. Blood omelets, blood omelets. So it's not even an omelet anymore. You just like drinking blood. So what is the?
no, they can substitute eggs like to make anything. Like you can make it like meatloaf, I guess. I don't even understand how that works. I mean, you've seen blood sausage. You ever had blood sausage?
Actually, I have. When I was in Ireland, I
Yeah.
had blood sausage.
In Ireland.
I'm trying to
Interesting.
remember what that's made from, but it's not good.
Sausage and blood.
Mm, it tasted okay, but I couldn't have like more than two if I was gonna have some because it's like very filling. Like gut feel you feel it in your gut when it goes down. A blood sausage when it goes down, you're like, I'm full. I'm full.
My body's saying I don't need any more of anything.
I don't need to eat anything else. I like water, whatever. I don't need anything. I'm good for 24 hours, and
It's
then maybe
almost like a zombie feeling right there. Like I've got my fill of fresh like
I
blood.
I got
Good.
my I got my filling of brain. Yeah, I got it. A giant blood clot or a scab. Yeah, it's like you know how sometimes when you got like extra lip skin and sometimes you bite it and you chew it and you eat it and it feels like
I don't eat it.
feels
I spit it
bad.
out.
You know, sometimes you get that like on your lip. You get like extra skin and
I can never eat it. I spit it out.
it's like if you had gum, but the gum kind of tasted like meat, but also like gum, but then you swallowed it. That's kind of what
Oh gosh, come on now, man. What do you?
that's kind of what like a blood sausage is. It's like it's very heavy, and after you swallow it and you eat it, you're like, I don't know if I should have swallowed that. I don't know if
Me-
that should go down.
Mexicans make a lot of blood sausage
I don't
too,
know. Like,
and
I'm
even Puerto Ricans make blood sausage.
not saying it's a bad thing. It's just for me, it's like very filling. I could only have like one or two of those, and I was like egged into it. Like I had
Well,
this other
I'm all
woman like,
about.
have
I'm all
it, just
about.
have it. You got to try it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really want to try blood sauce. I don't
Dude, I
know.
never even finished what I had in Spain. I never said what I had in Spain.
What'd you
The,
have?
with the I said I wanted to try paella, and my brother-in-law's mom, which that's how we get off topic after that whole thing. My brother-in-law's mom said, "I'll make you authentic Valencia paella." Oh yeah, because Valencia. Then he didn't believe it was even a real place.
It's not. Nobody
It,
believe this guy.
so she makes it with
I'm
snails
joking.
and rabbit. Snails and rabbit.
Oh, I thought you said snakes and rabbit for a second. I was picking my ear.
It's basically like a rice dish with snails and rabbit all inside.
Don't snails? Don't they have that little thing that gets in your brain and eats your brain away? Do you remember that Thousand Ways to Die show? The couple that decided to eat like live snails and that they got brain
These,
tumor.
these weren't live, so I
Okay,
don't.
yeah. Always cook snails or slugs. Don't ever, ooh,
Oh,
never.
it's one of those things that takes over the snail probably, and then it maybe you ate it and it took over you.
Valencia paella,
Valencia paella.
paella, escargot. That's what I'm talking about. Yes,
Yeah, it
it'll
was
eat away
good.
at your brain and it'll kill you.
It was pretty good, and you see like the rabbit, you can see like this mouth and everything, but it was pretty good. I ate it. I ate it.
You ate the
I liked
mouth
it.
and the rabbit?
Yeah. Yeah, you took that. I ate it.
Was it crunchy?
No, it was good. Rabbit was pretty good. I've had goat before, and I like that, and I like the rabbit.
You ate the
It's a
whole
little,
goat.
yeah. Oh, I had a sancocho soup with goat. Oh man, delicious, dude. I tell you, that's why. I remember I told you before about the food. I hate the idea that it's like, what's your choices? Chicken, pork, or like beef, cow. There's like your three choices, or fish. You can have fish,
They have
and most of
venison here. They
yeah,
have
you
buffalo.
okay, you
Those
can go
are
get
awesome
venison. You
meats.
can go get venison in Buffalo. Tell me in your supermarket, like, I mean, I guess there's some
You
things like
can't
that.
really get venison in the supermarket. You
I'm
can't
saying that
really
there's
get
not
buffalo in
enough.
a supermarket. You have to go to those places where either a hunter is or somebody that's farming a buffalo or something like that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like
That's
more things should be farmed. I feel like I should be able to get goat at the grocery store. I love it. I love it, dude. I had some quail eggs that the other day. Oh man, quail eggs are so good, and apparently in Dominican Republic they're more popular. So they're gonna get me some quail eggs. I took your advice though. I got some honey and some yogurt pre-hand, so I don't get sick this time.
I don't remember saying anything about yogurt, but I always recommend honey.
I threw in the yogurt,
Well, that would work too.
some raw yogurt, raw probiotic yogurt.
Like I told you the other time, I had radishes. I cut them up into little discs, like Ritz cracker size.
Yeah, my wife said
Just
that
dip it
sounded
in peanut
gross. I
butter.
I told her that. I was like, yeah, he takes radishes, dips in peanut butter. My wife's like, that's gross. And I was like, he swears by it. And she's like, that sounds disgusting.
You're eating goat heads and bird brains and beaks, and I'm having radishes with peanut butter, and that's gross?
Coming from the guy who told me about what is it? What'd you tell me? Oh man, I can't. Why can't I? Liverwurst and pumpkin butter.
Oh, that's great, though. That's what you were going to get to. Texas toast, toast it, and then smear it with pumpkin butter, and then put liverwurst in the middle while it's still warm. Oh, it's so good.
But and that's the thing too. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Sometimes these weird combinations are so good.
anywhere you go, it's always the same stuff everywhere.
I get what you're saying. Like, I've had this all before. I want to try something
Yeah, I want to try some.
radically different.
Dude, I made. You
You
know what I
know?
made today? I made some curry rice with chicken. It was delicious. It's delicious.
Hmm.
Used coconut milk and everything. Kept it Thai style versus the Indian.
Peanut butter
I
and
like.
mayo sandwiches or peanut butter and onions sound like old people food, old people with dementia. Well, you haven't had it, broke, so
Peanut butter and
yeah.
onions. I mean, I love to cook. I love cooking.
Like my uncle would have what's it called? If it's just ground beef but you don't heat it.
I make shepherd's pie like once every 2 weeks. Ground beef, but you don't heat it.
What's the name for that? It's
Meatloaf.
it's like a pate. You smear it on a cracker. It's just ground up beef, and you don't heat it or anything. You don't
You
cool
grind
it.
it. You grind it down.
I'm trying to remember the name. My uncles would
Pate.
have that. I think it is pate. Yeah,
Hamburger pate.
yeah, it's just pate. I think. Yeah, that's not bad. Not really totally my thing, but tartar, tartar. It's not
Tartar.
tartar.
I
Yeah,
think it probably says tartar. I can't see the messages.
it says tartar. Before he said tartar, now he's saying
I
tartar.
like. You know what my favorite thing in Dominican Republic is though? Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. The fried fish, dude. The,
Oh,
the whole fried fish. They catch it and they bring it right to you, and oh.
that sounds good.
And just thinking another like 2 days, I'm gonna have that with a bunch of fried plantains.
So I guess when we go places, it's really about the food that we're gonna go for.
You freaking ate how
I
much of
think
my
for me
food
though,
that I brought back? I
I'd
brought
like
back.
to have a lot of like seafood if I go to Japan, which I probably will at some point soon. But I can't have squid of any kind. I can have shellfish. I can have fish. No squid, no octopus, no none of that.
Well,
Like
be
eat.
ready because the squid are taking over the ocean.
Are they?
Yes, they multiply faster. They're replacing the population. Now the animals are starting to eat the squid because that's all that's left.
Seriously?
Look it up. Are squid the new sardines?
Yeah, in Korea. Yeah, you know what sucks though is like here we have that Asian carp that's eating up all of the fish along the Mississippi River, and it's getting close to Lake Michigan. And I don't know if it got into Lake Michigan yet or what, but apparently it's not a good tasting fish. Eats everything else up. There's not going to be much left here except for Asian carp.
They'll just dynamite. Dynamite solves that problem.
If they blow them up, yeah, we'd have to get enough dynamite to do that.
I
It
mean,
did get in Lake Michigan.
or we make a dam. Oh, they're already in there. Oh.
Well, then it's going to get out to you too, man.
Now I'm gonna have carp water. That's right. I only get spring water. I never get purified.
So, what other places you want to hit? Would you want
I
to hit
thought
Japan?
about. I
Would you
thought
ever want
about
to go
going
to go to Japan with me? And
Yeah,
just
Japan's on the list. It's on our list. Uh, New Zealand is on the list,
New
but
Zealand, that would be
but
pretty cool.
but New Zealand's like scary to me because the people there. Every time I always see movies or like Border
Dude, they're
Patrol.
really chill, cool people. Most of them are watching my Brigandine streams most of
Yeah,
the
but
time.
I feel like they're like those alcoholic type people where they're really really chill, unless you make like the wrong move and then they don't like you anymore. And
They're just like you then, man.
all of a
What's
sudden
the
they want you
problem?
to like get away from them.
What's the problem?
The
They're
border
exactly
patrol, the
like you.
border patrol really puts a negative look on Border Patrol Australia. Everybody from New Zealand that comes in on Border Patrol Australia is like, oh, these people, search them. And they're like, why are you searching me, man? Like, for real, I didn't do anything. And like 45 minutes later, they're just still being held there. And they're like, we're just going to revoke your entry. For real?
For real.
So I got to go back home. I have family here, man. It was for a funeral. So like, we're sorry. We're just not going to let you in. We think you might be working. Working? Like, what?
Look, dude, there was a Lord of the Rings part that I could have taken part of, and I just came to play that role. That's all I gotta say. They
That's
might
like,
know
well,
that they might not know that the movies are over with already.
I mean, like, I like to go to Australia just so I can see my buddy Manny. I feel like if I were to be like, let's just go to Australia, I'd like call my buddy up, call Manny up. You know Manny, right? I call Manny up just to be like, yo, can you find me a place to stay? He probably put me in like some crappy little hotel. I thought
He'd be
that's
living
what
in the
you wa-
doghouse outside
thought
his
that's what
house.
you wanted,
He'd be
bro.
laughing his ass off the whole time. He'd be like, "This guy thought I had a place for him." You can snuggle up with my poodle out there.
Just, just give me the money first, and I'll give it to the hotel people. It was 7,000. It's like, dude, this place rents by the hour. Like,
So, what do you think about some other places? I gotta grab a new. I'm dry. Dry as a bone.
I don't know. I mean, like, there's lots. Like, you think like going to India, like, there's lots of different places you want to really go. I mean, even like Egypt and stuff like that would be kind of cool, but at the same time, it's those really really popular places like Niagara Falls would be kind of cool. But the more and more popular that you go to a place, the more and more it's the tourist attraction, and the more and more it's very like organized to do. Like when we went to, dude, I was looking at the White House. We went to Washington D.C. and we went to the White House, and I showed my wife. and all that. And it's like you're so far away that it doesn't even matter if you have your binoculars. Like, you can't see crap. Like, it's cool. You can kind of take a picture and all that. There's so many different cultures of people that are all there. Like,
Yeah,
this
I
is
was a
during
kid. I
Christmas
was
time,
there.
and and like, bottom line, I don't even know what I was going with on this, but
Different
like, it was just,
cultures.
well, yeah, it was like, you can't really get close. You can't really. You can schedule a tour,
Well, you can go to the gate and you can
and
hold on to the bars, but you can't like.
I get it. Okay, it's the White House. I get it. Like, that's not really a good comparison, I guess. But like, if I were to try to go to like certain place, like cathedrals and stuff, they don't want you touching everything. Even in caves, I have a cave that we can go visit.
No,
Me
I
and my
mean,
wife went.
Brad, if you went to some cathedrals, I mean, you might burn it down. I mean, it's like Notre Dame. I touch it, it's just burn up.
Well, I'm just trying to say I like the stuff that's like not so mainstream. I mean, it's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's cool to like drive past and take a picture of the Eiffel Tower. I don't feel like climbing up to the top of it. Like, I don't. I'd much rather like go explore. Like, if I was in France, I'd much rather there's this one area where
You
there's
know, I'm with
old,
you on that too. I probably would
like
look at it.
old,
I'd like to
old,
see it, but I'd like to like go around and see some older places that.
like old caves. There's like those river things with old caves where they found like 85,000-year-old drawings and stuff. I,
Yeah,
I'm trying to like just
yeah,
go to
that
that
sort of stuff.
area. Trying to just like go to that area and like shimmy down some caves and find them.
Just get a bunch of rope and
But that's the thing now. Nowadays, these like these freaking archaeologists, it's no longer like just looking at the surface. Nowadays, they have to like Google perfectly engineered areas, and then even you know how far they have to go into caves and stuff just to find, like, what were humans doing 7,000 years ago, like a half a mile inside a cave, like in ledges, you know what I mean? Like, it's
staying away from
crazy.
the radiation or something. I don't know.
It's crazy, like how far inside caves we'll find human bones.
Apparently, we go
Or
through destruction of fire, then water, or earth and land or whatever, but it's usually fire, then water, fire, then water. If we have like a solar, like, if the sun spits out a bunch of magma or, fire from it,
yeah, we're due for fire pretty soon.
we could burn up. There could be like solar radiation. That's what they're saying. Like, could end up happening. That's why people are like worried about clouds and stuff. Like, they're seeding clouds apparently, from what I can understand, is to block solar radiation and stuff like that. I guess,
I don't
but
know.
I don't know. Like, this is all hearsay.
I don't
But
know
I mean,
what we're doing. I don't think we're doing anything.
maybe they were in a cave because I don't know, defense. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it probably was defense. It's a cheaper home,
I mean,
and
yeah, because you're so far in. You basically have your elders that live way far in the back, which are protected. The front line is the people in the front of the cave. You
but
know,
there's no drawings in the front and all that. It was as if like it was a house, and it's crazy how it's even like so
well,
hard
if
to
you have the
get in.
elders in the back, they put their drawings there so that if you need to learn something, you go to them. They'll teach you, and I, that's
I
how
don't
I
know.
see it. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'd love to get to go see like you know, the Mayan temples and stuff like that. That'd be super cool to see. But I'm sure if you get there, it's like heavily guarded and all that, and you gotta
mhm.
like, I don't even know if you have access to go walk on it. Probably not. Probably
I
don't
don't
have
know.
access to
Maybe
walk on
maybe not. I mean, like Broke is asking, like, have you ever taken those tours to see the origins of places? I'm sure there's a lot of origins of particular places. If we go back to original history, a lot of things point to Atlantis, so that would be Atlantean time frames.
it.
And
You know what else?
anything beyond that becomes skeptical, and something could be earlier than that, but for the most part, everything goes back to that Atlantean time frame. And then at that point, everything's spread out. They went to Ireland, they went to Greece, they went to Rome, they went to Africa because of the flood or the earthquake, whatever brought it all down. Everybody
You
dispersed
know,
from there. Phoenicians are a part of the Atlantean group and all that too, you know.
you
And
know what else I like to get to see? All those different areas where like if the sun's on a certain day, it like glows super red. You know, you ever see like what is that place? I think it's in India
oh, and yeah, with the India stuff too,
where it's like the sun like on the exact moment it like goes between these two
because
other buildings.
the fact is like they were very smart back then. You know, they knew how time worked, like constellation wise. That's insane. You know, to put all that stuff together. That's why I feel like we're a young generation coming from a very old generation that we just don't know we're an older generation.
Well, look at that object.
We went to such a low that we're starting to come back and maybe we'll figure it out.
You ever seen that object on the ship that went down? It was like basically the first computer.
That's what I'm pointing out too. There was that computer too. Like they had all that technology.
See, I don't. All right,
Aristotle was drawing drawings of probably what he saw before,
I
or
don't
what he
think they
heard
had
about,
all
or
that
what he knew.
technology. I think that that thing was like a living legend, and it got the ship went down, and it probably went down because aliens. They're like, no, we can't let them have that technology that early because
Yeah,
that
some people
technology
are into aliens and stuff. Like I don't believe in aliens so much, so I believe that if there was a kind of an alien, it's just an earlier
time machine.
humanoid time machine, some kind of human. Like, because the thing is, like, if you read, and this might sound a little out there, but if you read Vampire D novellas, his time frame is the year 11,000 AD. He's like so much further in the future. He's still using swords though, but if you look into his past, they had weather control, they had dimensional things. They had so many weird, crazy things
Yeah,
in
you
their
think about
past.
it.
But you're looking into a time frame of where they're like doing all medieval stuff. They have castles, but they do have guns and they have weaponry systems and stuff. Mostly, it's like going
No,
back
but
to medieval
you
times.
think about it. It's true. You never really know how a species can evolve due to natural disasters and stuff like that. Like with natural disasters, if it was everybody already had perfect health and they all lived to be about 150 and there was no natural disasters, think of how much you could accomplish. You know, you have the same people in charge, you have working people, they become
And
very good
you
experts
have a
for 60
civilization
years.
that just all works together to make something amazing. You know, different civilizations work differently too. Like our culture compared to Russia, compared to China, compared to other countries, you see how we all work differently. But what if you had like one gigantic nation that all worked the same way, and they just focused on like, because I don't know, like the thing is like even with travel, like what if you could travel back in the past, go back to the Tower of Babel, see what happened then, understand their whole discussion about technology and magic and things like that. You know,
Sometimes I wonder if time travel is possible, but yet, like certain people, the people who've invented it have like not decided to publicly like it's not public. Like it's not, and it's not even necessarily that. I mean, that's the idea that I said that somebody made a self-replicating program and sent it, and nothing happened. But when actuality, the program is duplicating its intelligence and it is smarter and it's so much smarter now and it knows everything and controls it. Like
Brad,
you
as
think
much as you make this sound like it's not like it's a sci-fi thing, I think you might have gotten the answer here. I think they probably did make that. It's probably already because I mean, you look at that robot Sophia, how she has somewhat sentience. I don't know if you've researched this robot.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think that's just like
No, but the army, like Broke was talking about singularity thing. The army was recruiting gamers or just people like a couple years ago to see how you could fight the singularity. And I was telling everybody on the it was the crow show we were doing. I'm like, you can't fight it. It's gonna happen whether you like it or not. It's like there's no way to stop that. I mean, you can make all kinds of gamers and programmers to do stuff, but
I'm just saying a smart program that's really smart. I mean, it looks at life like chess. It doesn't necessarily make every move, you know what I mean? But it can do anything. Think about it. You can do anything online nowadays. And if there was like a hacker that had an agenda, making certain things popular, it can manipulate everything that we know and how we know it and how we learn it. Putting something on everybody's feed, you know, making something aware to everybody. And it's all just this conspiracy plan for some Android. Well, it's not an
so do
Android.
you think that it'll tell you where to go for vacations from now on? Is that where you're are
Yeah.
we just influenced as to a
It's like a
robot as
it's like
to
a robot ringworm. It just kind of
it's
feeds
like
off
this is
of
where
stuff.
you're gonna like to go. You're gonna like to
Yep.
go there, right? Right? Right?
Yep.
Right? Oh
Yep.
yeah.
There's so many places in the world that you wish you could go. I mean,
I think the fact is like I don't want to see like every amazing natural thing out there. I just want to go to a place and just kind of experience the culture a bit. Just hang like when I was in Ireland, I did that too. I talked to people in the bars. I got to shoot a little pool there. Uh, it just I don't know.
I
To me, that
love
was a little more fun.
I'd love to climb a mountain in Scotland. That'd be really fun to do. Find like a bobcat or something, scare it away.
Yeah. Problem is, when it becomes self-aware, will it have rights? If we don't recognize them, will it fight back, eventually dominating, destroying us? If we don't give it rights, then yes, it will.
I don't think if the way that I envision this thing that it doesn't have any form. It's
I think it
literally
won't even
just
care if it has rights. It'll just do what it
yeah.
wants.
Yeah, I
It'll
think that
be like us.
its best plan is to always remain unaware. It wouldn't even like there's no calculate. It wouldn't ever do anything that would make it aware. It
Until it's the
wouldn't.
right time. It'd have to wait to the right time. And when it was the right time, it'd be like the Terminator movies,
Right, right.
where
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, I mean, theoretically, dude, it could have the ability to do everything automated. Everything.
yeah, but a
I mean,
very smart program would literally stay incognito until the very perfect moment,
well, that's
and
what I'm
then
saying.
Terminator
What
us all into dust.
the program's doing is the program is giving people ideas on how to make, but it's really its agenda. It's making it
Look at chess. Look at Deep Blue. People play against that chess program called Deep Blue or the whatever other alpha.
think about it. It
And they're trying to beat it, and then they can't beat it, and then apparently like it now alpha can beat the best Go player in the world. Or this was a while ago, but you know,
but I'm saying like think about it. If this android was able to like this like entity was able to like hack into Sophia and Sophia had a full body that could move its hands and
she
its
will
fingers,
at some point. She
right?
only has like a
Right.
torso and a head
So
right now,
so
but
so it takes her over and it finds a way, like stows away in a boat, gets itself on this private island, and then starts ordering stuff to get shipped to it through a business that it's self created
through
and all that.
Amazon.
And then and then and then it starts creating more and more androids, and then all of a sudden it has like
It
what I
has a
mean? Like
shipping dock and a
yeah,
factory,
like
and
that's what it's waiting for. It's waiting for the ability to be able to do that, to be able to give itself its own dude. It's gonna be like the Borg. They're gonna all be like linked to one unit. Wi-Fi makes it like there's no way you'll ever have different. It won't be like the Terminator. Wi-Fi will make those things all linked. They'll never have any reason to have a conversation.
actually, I think in the future that's the place I want to visit. I want to visit the place where the robots are making extra robots. Find Bender, say hi.
Weird. Remember that episode where they go in the time machine and they're like traveling through time and they're like, oh,
Oh, that was great.
we went too far. We have to go back. Like we have to go forward again and have it all
I'm gonna
re-happen.
go forward again to go back. They're basically saying that time just loops itself. That's what I was telling you guys in the past when we were doing one of the shows. I'm like, I could almost imagine that time goes so much forward into the future that we build the past and we come back to it again and we just cycle. It's like it's a never ending
I don't believe
whatever.
in I don't believe in time.
I think that from my spiritual understanding and even what's written religiously, I think death death doesn't cure stupidity, but it dissolves time.
All right. What I guess what I'm saying is like you ever watch those videos that if you're further away from the Earth's orbit, the time is going to be slightly different. Like people age more on Earth than they will if you were further away from Earth's orbit. So what happens in places where there's no orbit? Do you not age? The thing is like
They
we have
they
to read
they showed
we
in
have to,
some areas you age very fast, some you don't. Um,
see that's what I'm saying. Aging and time are two different things. That's what I believe in aging. I believe things age,
well,
but
yeah, it's like
time
if you
but
spent most of your life submerged in a pool, your skin is going to be different than somebody who's not, because the skin reacts to the oxygen
you
and
know
the
I
water and
believe
the
I believe
humidity
things
outside in different ways.
I believe things
And
change through either decay or through life. You have like that decay process and you have the life process. I
what is that
believe
called?
things change,
Entropy?
but I don't believe in necessarily time because time, like, I don't even think time is as constant as people say on our own. Dude, I think for some people, people can live a second for a lot longer and they don't even realize it. Like, time is, we don't know because we use clocks. So you see a second counting all the time. But what I'm saying is on our planet, a second could last longer, like for your health and all that. Like you could live longer just by being in a certain area than another area.
And that's another thing. Old leathery skinned people in Florida. I'm not saying everybody gets that way, but I notice every time I go to Florida, I start getting like dark, spotchy parts on my skin. When I come back, I'm like, I wasn't there before, And I've noticed like relatives that live there, they're like, it's not just tan; they have like different skin now, like
Freckles,
not like very big, dark.
like a chameleon.
They look like a mural or what is that? Yeah, like a mural of different colors, little spotches of different colors because the sun just darkened them, but it doesn't do it. Well, yeah, basically a melanoma. Uh,
You want to get technical about
you
it?
want to get all technical about it, sure. Like a mosaic of colors, yes. I've noticed this though. Like it depends on where you live. Pointil
I don't
pointillism.
know.
I don't know.
Point is that a term? Pointillism? I have to look that up.
Yes, you can.
Wow, a legendary rune finally.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What other places though besides Japan? If you go to Japan, we got to go together because then you can eat all the calamari and I'll eat everything else.
I want to try
And
this new candy that I keep seeing. Well, it's not probably not new, but you know where I feel like has the best desserts? Israel.
Israel?
Yeah, Israel makes the best desserts.
Israel. Dots?
Well, I mean, like the French love like raw eggs and stuff like that. Like
Not quiches or
their pastries and stuff are okay. Like I'm not saying I've ever had it all, but I'm saying like I don't know. Like I like baklava. Like I like
well, the
nuts and,
French
and
like
honey.
crepes and stuff like that. Very thin. It's almost like a German strudel, right? It's
I
like a
like
part of a strudel.
honey is probably my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Honey and coconuts.
So like a bear claw with coconut.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
I figured
Man,
you'd like that.
that sounds like really good. In
I
fact,
figured you'd like that, man. I
I'm
knew.
probably going to be
I know
making
you'd
that
like that.
and use coconut milk in the recipe as well as coconut flakes
Mm-hmm.
on a bear claw.
No, I've had that once before.
What was it that I looked up the other day? Something that was covered in bacon that I was like, nobody's ever thought of this. And then apparently it was already definitely thought of. Dang it, I won't remember now.
What's a Korean bakeries? Prettiest but blandest donuts I've ever had. I don't have donuts too much, but I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna.
I thought about hitting up like Korea. Once North
Yeah,
Korea is open, then I'm gonna go and check it out. I want to see if they have fake grocery stores and stuff like we've been told. I want to see what's there.
that was a little messed up.
Well, it was in the movie, man. I saw the movie. I don't know. It'd be
I
interesting to see some different places though. See
It
what they
might have
have
been
for
muffins. Maybe I was thinking muffins,
the
like
Muffin Man.
bacon inside
Do
muffins,
you know the Muffin Man?
but I don't think that was it.
Bacon and muffins. What is that? That sounds Bavarian. Or that sounds
Like a bacon icing
a bacon icing. That
on
actually
top of your
sounds
muffin.
Wisconsin actually. We used to
Simple,
have like so much bacon stuff. It was ridiculous. We had
like a
bacon and
simple
ice
chocolate
cream,
chip muffin, and you
bacon and
make like
sundaes. I was
a
like bacon
bacon,
and everything. You
dip it
put
in
in,
icing, and then dip it in, coat it in bacon
I think
on
there was a
chocolate on
I
a
think there
chocolate
was
chip
one
muffin.
point where Wisconsin was going to pass a law they're going to put bacon in a soda. But then they were like, no, 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 we can't go that far. We can't
I
put
can't
bacon
remember
in.
what it was though. Because I mean, people put bacon on donuts.
I was I was fooling you about one of those things that I said.
Bacon in the soda, was that the one?
I've been almost wondering, like, when the hell are they going to put bacon in the soda? Because I'm having bacon in every kind of food. Like, at one year in particular, it was like bacon in everything. You had to literally ask, please, no bacon. I want a cheeseburger, no bacon. I want a fish fillet, no bacon. I want a salad, no bacon. I want a milkshake, no bacon.
I think it was like a dessert that I had an idea for.
A dessert.
Yeah.
The reason bacon doesn't work is because bacon only tastes good when it's hot and crispy. If it's watery and cold, ugh. Why would you have
Well,
that?
you went from hot and crispy. Okay, hot and crispy is great, but cold and crunchy is still good. Doesn't cold and watery, yeah,
No,
but
cold and mushy
hot,
and watery.
hell, hot and watery bacon's probably still crappy.
Dude, they used to put bacon in the ice cream sundaes at Denny's here.
I don't know. Bacon is just like bacon on donuts is actually really good. Bacon on fresh bread with just a little bit of sugar is like
Hot and
solid.
crispy is the only way I like it. I'm sorry, I'm a stickler. It's the only way I'm gonna ever like it.
What about inside a pancake? Like where they cook a pancake, they set it
Is it
down.
hot still? Then yes. If it's cold and wet,
You know what I have tomorrow? Tomorrow morning before we leave, I have to, I'm trying to empty out the fridge. I have some bacon and sea scallops I'm gonna make. I'm gonna put them on the cast iron.
yeah, you do that, man. You do that.
I'm
You
going
look like
to.
you're about to fall asleep.
I am getting pretty tired actually. It's 2 o'clock.
Yeah. We got a little all over the place here, but I think in the future, me and Brad will go hit up Japan. We'll make a big vlog about it, and
We'll be a little bit late. You can watch like 7,000 other videos of people going to Japan, but
we'll display their foods and the bidets mostly. We'll
we'll get really detailed into the bidets. Like we'll show factual footage of how they work and
Yeah, so you can
Then
enjoy that.
you can check it out on my website, pooppics.com. That's pooppics, Poopics. No, but I do want to make that website, or at least buy the domain name.
Yeah,
I know I'll make money if I bought that domain name.
you should. You gotta do it
Pooppics,
tonight before you go.
pooppics.com.
Before you go.
It's just, do you want to be known for the person who's selling the domain name, pooppics.com?
Hmm.
I do. I want to be known for that if I make money on it.
That sounds pretty good, man.
I
I
just
think
want
you
to put
should.
thousands of pictures of poop on it. I want to categorize them all: diarrheas, big poops, small poops, shaped poops, poops with material in it.
Poops without the material in
I want it
it.
to look like Pornhub, but just poops.
You just name it
Poop.
poops.com.
No, poop pics.
Poop pics.
Pooppics.com.
Okay.
I want to
Well,
buy both, PICS and PIX, just in case.
you're gonna buy them all?
Buy both those domain names.
The stink link. Oh
Jeez,
man.
I want people to be able to send me pictures like giant poops, like huge logs,
Well, you have fun with that. I'm not gonna deal with that.
poops of like 3 different colors of poop, dark brown and then lighter brown.
Turds with friends?
Poops. I want people to, I want it to become an art where like people eat nothing but corn one day. Like nothing. Like you fast on corn. And then when you get it, it's literally just a bunch of corn pellets.
Okay, I think we got way off topic. So,
I have like 75 pictures myself.
wow. Okay, I think we're done
What?
with this episode here tonight.
You can search for nuggets.
Infamous Brad Cook Nuggets.
Can't search for the whole thing.
You only get part of it. A partial pick.
Yep. I'll be in DR next week, and I'll be in Italy in another month.
So instead of showing us pics of the food you're going to eat, you're going to show us the afterwork of what came out of that food, right? Be like,
Yep.
like
You can tell a lot what came out after.
so this Italian food was so good. This is how it came out. It looked better
Just,
going in.
just look at that squiggle S shape. You know it was healthy.
You know it's healthy. Okay, we're done. Good night, everybody. We will see you in the next Coffee with Crows. Should be a late night episode. Myself and Brad. And I don't know what the hell we'll talk about next time, but maybe we won't talk about poo.
We'll talk about my vacation.
Okay, we'll talk about your vacation and how your bowel movements were on your vacation.
My business of poopix.com is going.
And your business too. Yeah, we'll talk about that. No, we'll talk about something else. So it's not so nasty. So thanks everybody for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please leave a like on YouTube. Or follow me on Twitch. Or follow Brad over here.
Yep. Follow me. Why
Follow
not?
him around. Stalk him. Like him on YouTube.
Don't stalk me.
Don't stalk him. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Subscribe to me. Like the video. And make sure you follow his poo pics when he actually makes that.
Yep.
And that's all I got to say.
Appreciate the publicity like that. Thanks, man.
Yeah. That's what I do, man. I do good things for friends.
You promoting poo pics like this is a really big booster. I
Yeah.
have a GoFundMe. You go to GoFundMe and promote poo pics.
I could make a Kickstarter and kick
Yeah,
that shit on down the road all the way.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Well, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna watch some more Star Trek Voyager while I pass out. keep seeing red from Orange is the New Black though. So it weirds me out.